Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome in. I wanted to talk about Starfield, the new Bethesda RPG that everyone is talking about. There's been a lot of stuff going on about this for the last year. I'm going to make a series of videos talking about that, but for now I kind of want to go over a general overview of this game. It was announced over 3 years ago, this game. It's an RPG in space. And I'm going to kind of, as we go through this, talk into it in a bit more depth, but I did want to give that as a preface. It's actually been in development apparently since I believe 2016. Now this game itself, whilst only being made for 6 years, is based I think 300 years in the future in the 2300s. So we'll get to kind of see a sci-fi universe in which we've not only colonized, the solar system, but planets far out there. I think it was 50 million light years away and stuff. So it's I think that kind of area. So it's very interesting to see that there. We do know that this game is going to be released on November the 11th, 2022. It's going to be released on PC and Xbox, and it will be on the Game Pass on day one. It also does have a Steam page, so you can go have a look at that. A lot of people are very hyped about this. I think we recently found out that it was on the top list for games of pre-order for Steam already, and that's before, I think we've got another 300 days or something to go yet before Starfield, so plenty of time to go, maybe less if you're watching this in the future, and hello future if you are watching from there. Anyway, let's keep going on. So there's been 3 official trailers for Starfield. You're probably going to be watching those right now, so you can kind of see what the atmosphere is like, what we're kind of looking at here in Starfield. There's not been a crazy amount of gameplay yet. I think it was Fallout before they basically did a 30-minute gameplay presentation. For this so far we have not seen that. What we've seen is some very kind of cryptic gameplay pieces, bits, a few leaks, and some other stuff that's kind of gave us a general kind of starting palette, a starting flavour as to what this game's going to be like. By the way guys, if you're not already, make sure you're subscribed, because this is a brand new channel. I have another channel which is already doing pretty well, but I kind of wanted to make one around Starfield. So all of these videos are going to be about Starfield. They're going to be very in-depth. Again, this is just an introduction video. In Starfield as well, we do have a few different locations which have been confirmed. Neon is one of them, and we did actually have a very small YouTube video on that. It's only like 30 seconds long or something, by Bethesda themselves, which is the game developer for this game, which of course was bought out by Microsoft and is why the game won't be on the PlayStation, and they confirmed that at no point in the future will it be on PlayStation, and it is a PlayStation exclusive and PC as well, so if you've got Steam you can download this game. It is also the case that because it is on PC, you can technically stream it even if you don't have a gaming PC, as long as you have a good internet connection, much like you could with Forza or something like that. So you don't necessarily have to buy a super big beefy PC in order to buy this game or enjoy it, and because it's on Game Pass day one, you can also enjoy it without having to spend a bunch of money. Now keep in mind, Bethesda has not released a game like this in a very long time. It's in fact been several years now. The most recent one I believe was Fallout 76, and before that we had Fallout 4. So we're looking at a very large gap between the release dates. This has been in full development for a long time now. From what we can tell, it's probably been in a near finished state for maybe a while now, and we know it's been near that point for a while definitely. And again, I'm only going over the overline here. We're going to be going into a lot more in the future, so do make sure you're subscribed once again. So this is going to be definitely visiting different worlds. We do know that. We know that there's perhaps going to be 8 different locations, maybe more, we don't know. We know that there's going to be a lot of lines of dialogue, about a quarter more than Skyrim had, I believe, or actually 2 times more than Skyrim. I think had 50,000 words, and this has 150,000, and Cyberpunk had 100,000. So this should be a pretty good game in terms of dialogue. That's good to hear. We also know that because it is procedurally generated worlds, that we may be looking at a far more expansive area than just 3 or 8 worlds or whatever. It may even be that it is only those 8 worlds, but you could travel all of them because it is procedurally generated. We're just not entirely sure yet. It is on a custom engine. I know that a lot of people remember kind of like Fallout New Vegas kind of felt very similar to all of the subsequent games which came in the series, and it felt like Skyrim as well. But this one is in theory meant to be entirely different because it's built from a new engine. There's been a lot of concept art released as well, which has theory crafted people into kind of making some decent, well-researched assumptions about the game, and again, I'm going to be going about that in the future. There are also, I think from what I understand, going to be the Fallout kind of like classics, so that's things like companions which you can travel with. There might be some inventory management in there, you know, lots of items you can pick up, perhaps an in-game currency, kind of those RPG things that we would expect, you know, lots of different dialogue choices, maybe some big decisions that you can make. Now, whilst the game does, from what we've seen so far, look amazing, we have not seen what the Creation Engine 2, as they call it, really is, what it's capable of. I think part of the idea of it is that it's highly moddable, which should allow the community, in terms of mods, in terms of custom stories, be able to customize this game and kind of make, in theory, their own DLC packages for this game. So that'll be super interesting to see how that works out. We know that there's gonna potentially be maybe aliens. There's definitely going to be spaceships, maybe spaceship combat could be a thing. There's so many different things in this game that could potentially happen. I don't really want to say too much because I don't want to get things wrong or mislead you guys into believing things that we don't entirely know yet. We do actually know that Todd Howard, the lead designer of the game, did travel to SpaceX to kind of have a authentic feel for what a sci-fi universe, you know, with launch pads and stuff would look like. And I know that they aren't going to entirely be going with something realistic. We're probably going to see some kind of warp drive or something which allows people to travel faster than they otherwise would with the conventional, you know, laws of physics that we know of today. So definitely this game is going to take some creative liberties in order to, as Todd said himself, gamify, you know, reality a little bit to make it a little bit more easy to understand. By the way, if you're not already, again, make sure you're subscribed, make sure you're following me on Twitch. I'm going to be releasing a bunch of videos about this game. Have a great day, guys. Until next time, GG.